Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're exploring a really powerful and, honestly, compassionate new way to look at the fertility journey. It's a framework that helps us move away from all that self-blame and toward a much deeper understanding of our own biology. For so many people on this path, this question can become this painful looping thought that just plays over and over. It's such a heavy question, and it often carries this unspoken feeling of personal failure, like you're somehow broken, which just adds a whole other layer of stress to an already tough experience. But what happens if we totally reframe this? What if we shift the entire focus away from function and onto safety? So instead of asking, what's wrong with me, we start asking, what does my body need to feel secure enough to create? It sounds like a small change, but believe me, it's a profound shift in perspective. To really get this new question, we kind of have to peek under the hood at the biology that's driving it. So let's explore some key ideas about how our nervous system is making these fundamental choices every single second, pulling from concepts in mind-body medicine. Okay, this right here is the key idea. Our thoughts, they generate emotions, and those emotions, they release specific chemicals into our body. Now, when we have the same thoughts and feelings over and over and over again, our body gets conditioned. It gets used to that chemical state. It literally memorizes the emotion, and that pattern starts running on autopilot in our subconscious. So this slide really breaks it down nicely. Think of our biology as having two primary states, survival mode or creation mode. Survival is all about protection, right? It's about conserving energy, and it's dominated by stress hormones like cortisol. Creation, on the other hand, is all about growth, expansion, and, you guessed it, reproduction. Your body has to choose one or the other. It can't be in both at the same time. And here's the bottom line. If your nervous system perceives any kind of threat, and it doesn't matter if it's a real physical threat, an emotional one, or even just a memorized chemical state of stress from your past, it will always default to survival. It's going to put all its energy into protection, which means long-term projects like reproduction naturally get put on the back burner. So if our bodies can memorize states of stress and fear, it makes sense that we can also teach them a new pattern, right? This next part is all about how we can consciously start to rewire those subconscious programs and move from a past of protection to a future full of possibility. This is a really gentle but powerful question to ask yourself. And you want to do this without any judgment. We can just begin to explore what emotional baseline our body might be running on when it thinks about expanding our family. Is it joy and excitement, or is it maybe a memorized feeling of fear or overwhelm or instability? Now, these are just a few examples of patterns that can keep our nervous system on high alert. It could be a fear of losing who you are, some instability in your relationship, or even beliefs about motherhood you inherited from your family line. And remember, these aren't faults. They're not things you've done wrong. They're simply unprocessed emotions that can keep the body stuck in a guarded, protective state. This is so important to get. This work isn't about just thinking positive or trying to force yourself to feel something you don't. The real work is about consistently sending signals of safety to your body, conditioning it over time to believe that it's actually safe to relax, to open up, and to create. And this is how we can do it, through what some people call elevated emotions. See, these aren't just nice feelings. Things like gratitude, love, and trust are actually powerful biochemical states that actively fight back against stress chemistry. They are, quite literally, the most direct way to tell your nervous system, hey, all is well, you are safe. Okay, so we've got the theory down, the whole biology of survival versus creation. Now, let's see how this all builds into a practical, tangible framework you can actually use to begin this rewiring process. It really boils down to these three simple steps. First up is awareness. Just get really honest about what emotion your body has memorized. Second, regulation. Start to bring in daily practices like breath work or grounding techniques to calm your nervous system right here in the present moment. And third, future rehearsal. This is where you spend just a few minutes each day feeling the elevated emotions of the future you want before it even happens. You're basically conditioning your body to a new reality. Let's just say this one more time because it's truly the core of this entire framework. The focus is on the process, not the outcome. Your goal is to create an internal environment of profound safety and receptivity. We're conditioning a state of being, not trying to wrestle a specific result into existence. And that brings us to the ultimate aim, coherence. This is that beautiful state when your mind's intention, your body's feeling, and your core identity all line up. They're all in sync, in a state of safety and trust. When that happens, your whole system can naturally shift from a state of protection into one of creative possibility. So we'll leave you with this final thought. It really reframes the whole journey, doesn't it? What if you could let go of the need to control and to strive, and instead just focus on creating this deep alignment within yourself? It suggests a path forward that's rooted not in force, but in creating a state of profound reproductive safety.